into this game, friends were telling me, if you win, is it going to feel the same? Is it going to feel the same as last year? And if anything, it feels better. It's my senior year. You end it in a perfect note. Everybody wants to end their senior year in the state championship. And winning it the way we did, fighting to the very end, it kind of showed how our team is.
I mean, I feel great. It's a little emotional, but I feel good. I feel like I did good. Like, our offensive line was able to block downfield well, so they helped me out a lot. So it starts off with watching film and seeing the defense's techniques and seeing what you're going to have to do. And then it goes on to practice and seeing what you got to execute and make plays.
It just feels amazing to win this 2 years in a row. I mean, last year I wasn't that much of a factor because I had seniors over top of me. So that made me just want to be a better player. Get stronger, get faster, and get smarter in the game. So then I knew I hit the summer, and then I would work out real hard, run routes to perfect. That once I got out on the field, I'll be able to stop.
I can't describe it. We worked so hard all year, starting with summer workouts and practices and stuff, and it paid off. So these group of seniors, we all play for them. I'm so proud of all of them. Our bond is so strong on this team, and it just feels amazing to come off state championship 2 years in a row.
We called the fake punt. I was looking. I was like, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, because they were crashing down at the time, and they were all coming. But EJ, amazing. He gets the pitch, and then I see just enough space to get to the outside to get the first down. And the next, look at the clock and it's ticking. And hit 0, and then state champion.
You can play great. I think we got a little complacent in the second half, and they came out with some fire. And, they gained a lot of momentum, and we just couldn't shift the momentum.
They had, a lot of momentum, I guess, from that touchdown they had at the end of the quarter or end of the half. They just built off of it. This whole day was crazy. And then, we scored 3 quick touchdowns, up 21-zip. Felt great. We had the momentum.
It wasn't really panic on the sidelines. This is a tough, hard-nosed team, mentally tough, physically tough, and I thought they showed that tonight.
At halftime, it was keep the foot on the gas. Don't let up. We let up 1, but we're okay. And they came out in the second half and pretty much dominated the game. They just started bringing full-out blitzes, and disrupting everything in our backfield.
Winning 21 points in high school is usually good enough to win. Anytime, I feel like our defense can hold any team under 21, and we didn't tonight, but I thought we had a chance. We thought if we could get a stop right away and then go down and score, then we thought that they would kind of quit. But it didn't go that way. But we thought all we needed to do was get a stop and then put 1 more score in, and then we thought that'd be enough.
We did good, but sometimes you just win or lose, and that was the case tonight. They outplayed us in the second half. We knew we had to get a stop the first drive to even contain their momentum, and we didn't. And they got it all back, and that was when they started scoring a lot, and it's our fault we didn't get that stop.
I'm hurt. This is my last game playing as a Hornet. The last game playing with my brothers I grew up with. But other than that, I'm proud. I'm proud to be a Damascus Hornet.
For the upcoming girls basketball season in and around the D.C. metro area, I'm Jack Feely, joined by the Washington Post Gabe Hyatt and Isabel Krashudian. Let's get right into it. Outside the WCAC, is there a lot of competition? And Isabel, I'll start with you first. Who are some of the players that you think are worth mentioning?
Well, Kyla Charles at Eleanor Roosevelt, she's a great player, defensive specialist, about 19 points per game last year, and helped them to an undefeated season, a state championship. So she's going to be a great player for them again this year in her junior season. She was a first-team All-Met as a sophomore. Dejanay Boykin is a UConn commit, probably the best player in this area for the senior class, and she's at CH Flowers, so it'll be fun to watch those two go against each other later.
And Gabe, how about some of the players that you think are kind of trying to hopefully make a name for themselves in the league?
Right. I think once you look into Virginia, you're going to see some really good players in the front court, starting at Madison. You've got a 6'2 forward, Kelly Kashuda. She's one of the top recruits in the country. She's leading a really strong Warhawks team that's got 3 other returning starters, some complementary guards. Staying in that same area at South Lakes, you have a girl named Princess Aguirre. She's also a 6'2 front court player, and her coach told me in a scrimmage the other day she had 25 rebounds, so she's going to be that type of player there in Virginia.
So it's fair to say she's going to be dominating the paint. And as we try and speak over the practice right behind us, now let's switch to some of the teams around the area. Gabe, I'll start with you. Some of the teams in the Virginia area or in the Maryland area that you think are really kind of making a name for themselves.
So I think first we're going to look at Stonewall Jackson. They were a state finalist last year, and they also have a player I neglected to mention, a guard, Genesis Parker, very dynamic player. All the coaches I've talked to seem to think Madison is going to be great there. If you're also talking about outside some of the private powers in Maryland, you've got to mention the Southern Maryland Athletic Conference teams, particularly North Point. It's been in the championship game the past 2 years, led by guard Jessica George. Westlake will be in there, and Calvert is a 2A school that's been in the championship game the past 4 years, but they lose a lot. So it's going to be a new year for them.
Isabel, some of your picks.
Riverdale Baptist, always a great team, nationally ranked. They play a national schedule. They lost 3 players that are now at ACC programs. They reloaded. They have Lena Niang, who's going to go to NC State next year. They have one of the top point guards in the country in freshman Honesty Grayson Scott. She's the first freshman to ever start for Riverdale. And so they're going to be a great team. And then Eleanor Roosevelt is probably the favorite to win the state championship again in Maryland for the 4A.
Isabel, I'll stay with you, starting with some of the storylines, especially I think one of the storylines that I think is that freshman playing at Riverdale Baptist, no?
Yeah, she's already picking up Division I offers. She's one of the top players in her freshman class, and she's going to be fun to watch. If she stays there for all 4 years, how she does, and if she lives up to the hype. That's a lot of pressure to put on a player so young.
And Gabe, some of your storylines that you think a lot of the viewers and readers should know about.
Well, we talked a lot about Madison. I think it's going to be who can knock them off, right? Edison is a very highly rated team, also in the state semifinals. They have a guard, Jada Graves, that's really going to pace them and is actually going to have to do some double duty, playing both point guard and shooting guard. It should be interesting to see how that works out. Elsewhere in Virginia, Oakton's another top team that people thought really had a great backcourt, but they lost a player. Asia Shepard, she transferred to St. John's. They still have Alex Marquise, who's a great guard for them. And they have another guard who is Carly Cronin. She's coming back slow, recovering from that ACL. So we're going to see how that backcourt develops. I think that's going to be a great story to watch.
Yeah, we'll see how those storylines play out. Thank you so much. That does it for this video preview of other leagues in and around the DC metro area. If you want to see more league previews, make sure to go to allmetsports.com. For Gabe Hyatt, Isabel Krashudian, thanks so much. I'm Jack Feely. Take it easy.